In Sapp's War, I try my hand at recreating an informal reunion of Canadian nursing sisters. And this is from that attempt. The chapter is called So Very Sorry. And all you need to know is that at some point, Jenny calls Lois a nickname that only Jenny uses, which is to say she calls Lois Lizzie, which I realize is not the same name, and so do they. But anyway, now you're in the know when that happens. Okay, Lois says, after everyone's settled behind their second drink and the small talk has died down. Dream or diary, round robin. Who wants to start? That last she throws straight across the table, emphatically at Jenny, and of course, everyone laughs. Dream or diary, an icebreaker. Tell about something you want to have happen, or something that has happened since last we met. Jenny knocks her drink back. Dream, she says defiantly. Lois raises an eyebrow. Jenny looks around, takes a deep breath, and then says long-sufferingly, I want still to fit inside my dress uniform. My dear, Graham interjects, you're not the only one with that wish. Not by half, Sophie adds. Which half? Claire. I'd start with the top for one. Flossie, holding her blouse away, looks down and up with ex-ward eyes. The ex-ward was where people went to die. A yelp or two, and then, top or bottom, what difference does it make? Orderlies, bring the shears. Which half, Lizzie? No one calls her that but Jenny, and not in any public but this. Lo pauses. She looks at the long fingers of her left hand, propped in a V against the glass. The distaff! Amy slams her drink on the table. I don't think it matters, Lo answers quietly, so long as you let it out. The fabric or the fat, and so on. It's Jenny's turn. She looks around the table, these faces like the phases of the moon, some waxing, some waning, but all aglow with each other's reflected company. She settles on Lois, looks her straight in the face. Pearl, she says. Marjorie laughs like the rest of them. Jenny looking at one person and saying the name of another. It was an old gag. Right, she says, and pushes her empty tumbler, a double shot glass showing the horseshoe falls, the legend, bucket, directly at Lo, who fills it up again directly. A few giggles more, but everyone can tell the mood is about to shift. No one minds. This is why they are here. There was this boy, she begins, and everybody also knows, by the way she says boy, that she means a soldier. And not an officer, but an enlisted man. And almost certainly, although not necessarily, a Canadian. And he used to ask every time I came on duty in the ward, do you miss us, miss us? And I'd answer, I'm not married, dear. I called everyone dear when I was on my own. It somehow made it safer, not just for me. If the patients were like family, and she trails off, there was less likelihood of their dying, Graham says, followed by a general stir of consent. It just seemed good manners somehow to me. And they knew never to say sweetheart, or anything like that back. They'd say angel, Aggie said, correcting slightly. Oh yes, they all said that, several agreed. And when they say they all, something else changes. Oh, the electric currents skip a pulse. The corners of the room disappear in the darker. So then he'd say, do you miss me at least, Sister Missy? Pearl continues, and of course he was missing. And she touches both her arms and down at one side. No one laughs, or finds it in the least bad taste. But as Pearl goes on, the treats she brought him, the letters he dictated, that one especially, telling his Edmonton sweetheart he'd found an English girl, so as not to burden her with his body. Traces of shapes emerged from the shadows of the room, edged by that one green light, solitary bulb among these sainted few, like an audience for lawn bowling, illuminated late into the summer night. Those whose lives they had saved, or lost, or lingered out to lose at last. They do not speak of these much, but can tell when they enter the room, with their head wounds and abdominals, ravines gouged out of their anatomy by shell fragments, flesh epitomes of the front. They are filing in now, and all, without exception, are saying the last intelligible thing to whichever sister saw them go. We are sorry, so very sorry, to have troubled you in this way. Good boys, good byes, goodbye.